The wellness industry stole something from your grandmother and sold it back to you at a 500% markup. Supplements, superfoods, biohacking gadgets, a $6 trillion global wellness machine built on the lie that health is complicated. Meanwhile, Japan has the highest concentration of people, over 100 in the world, and their grandmothers never bought a single protein powder. These are not exotic secrets. They are forgotten basics. Things your great-grandmother probably knew before corporations convinced her she needed their help. The best Japanese grandmother health tricks that most cost nothing and you can start today. Warm water first thing. The first thing a 90-year-old Japanese grandmother drinks each morning is not green tea. It is water that has been boiled and cooled just enough to sip. In traditional households, this was called white water, given to children, the elderly, and the sick as the gentlest way to wake the stomach. Warm liquid relaxes digestive muscles, stimulates gentle peristalsis, and hydrates cells faster than cold water, which the body must first warm internally before it can use. Western morning culture pushes coffee on an empty stomach, acidic, dehydrating, and harsh on the gut lining before it is fully awakened. The simplest trick costs nothing and takes 30 seconds. Stop at 80% full. Japanese grandmothers do not count calories. They stop eating while still slightly hungry. This 8 parts full principle was taught in Buddhist temples and carried into home cooking, where eating to complete fullness was considered greedy and hard on the body. The stomach signals fullness with a 20-minute delay. So stopping at 80% means the body has actually received exactly what it needs by the time the signal arrives. Western portions are designed to overshoot that signal entirely. Restaurants profit from quantity, not satisfaction. This is not restriction. It is listening to a signal your body was always sending. Fermented vegetables at every meal. Most people do not know that Japanese grandmothers eat fermented vegetables at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, not as a side dish, but as medicine for the gut. Household pickle crocks passed down for generations contain unique bacterial cultures developed over decades of continuous use. Live fermentation provides probiotics that survive stomach acid, feed beneficial gut bacteria, and support immune function, 70% of which lives in the digestive tract. Western probiotics come in $40 supplement bottles. Japanese grandmothers make theirs from vegetable scraps and salt and have been doing so longer than the supplement industry has existed. Walk 10 minutes after eating. Japanese grandmothers do not exercise to burn calories. They walk 10 minutes after eating to help food settle. The traditional belief holds that lying down after meals lets food rot, while gentle movement helps it travel. Light walking stimulates gastric motility, prevents blood sugar spikes by helping muscles absorb glucose immediately after a meal, and reduces bloating. Western culture celebrates the post-meal collapse. Couch, screen, belt unbuckled. This is not laziness being judged. It is a gentle tradition that happens to match exactly what modern metabolic science now recommends. No ice water ever. This one surprises almost everyone. Japanese grandmothers refuse ice water even in summer and consider the Western obsession with cold drinks a quiet health hazard. Traditional medicine holds that cold shocks the stomach, constricts blood vessels, and forces the body to waste energy re-warming every sip before digestion can begin. Cold liquids slow enzyme activity while warm drinks support metabolic function and feel more satisfying with less volume consumed. American restaurants serve ice water by default, free refills on frozen drinks that stress the digestive system with every glass. A simple shift in temperature requires no special ingredients, no cost, no effort at all. Seek out bitterness. Japanese grandmothers seek out bitter flavors that Western palates are trained from childhood to avoid, and their liver quietly thanks them for it. Seasonal bitter greens are prized in spring as awakening foods that stimulate digestion after heavy winter eating. Bitter compounds trigger bile production, support liver detoxification, and improve the body's ability to digest fats. The flavor itself is the medicine. Western food engineering removes bitterness systematically, breeding it out of vegetables, masking it with sugar, treating it as a design flaw to be corrected. The flavor category you have been trained to dislike might be the one your body is most deficient in. In 2016, researchers studying centenarians in Okinawa found that the longest-lived populations shared almost none of the expensive interventions Western wellness promotes. What they shared were simple daily patterns, warm liquids, fermented foods, movement woven into ordinary tasks, small portions. The grandmother traditions work because they cost nothing and cannot be sold. That is why they disappeared, not because they failed, but because they could not be monetized. Squat instead of bend. Japanese grandmothers squat rather than bend, picking vegetables, cleaning floors, sorting laundry, tending to plants. The deep squat position maintained throughout life keeps hips mobile, strengthens the legs without a single gym visit, and even supports digestive function. Western furniture eliminated the squat from daily life almost entirely. Chairs, raised toilets, adjustable beds. The body forgot what it could do, and entire medical industries grew up around the consequences. Eat small fish. Japanese grandmothers favor fish over meat, and within fish they favor the small, oily varieties over large predatory species. Sardines, mackerel, anchovies. These contain dense omega-3 fatty acids with far lower mercury accumulation than the fish Western culture treats as prestigious. Salmon and tuna sit at the top of Western seafood menus, while the humble fish that sustained coastal villages for centuries gets used as cat food or pizza topping. The most nutritious option is almost always the cheapest one. Useful movement over scheduled exercise. Japanese grandmothers practice what might be called useful movement. Every task is done by hand when possible, hanging laundry instead of using a dryer, sweeping instead of vacuuming, kneading dough instead of pressing a button. The body stays engaged throughout the entire day without dedicated exercise time or gym memberships. Western convenience eliminated the movement first, then sold gym memberships as the replacement, and then sold recovery products for the gym. 3 separate industries built on one original subtraction. Sit down to eat everything. Japanese grandmothers rarely eat standing up or walking. Every meal, even a small snack, involves sitting down, pausing, and attending to the food. The body digests differently when calm. The parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, only fully activates when the body is still and the mind is present. The mind registers satisfaction when attention is given to the act of eating. Western grab-and-go culture trains the body to eat without noticing and then wonders why it is always looking for more. Pick 5. Try them for 1 week. These traditions survived centuries without a single supplement or wellness gadget. They survived because they worked. Japanese grandmothers knew. Now you do too.